Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it's a wonderful day to be creating with you. Today I am working on creating the process videos for the 50 card workshop that's been designed. I love everything about these cards. They've been so fun to make, but we're going to go ahead and work on card 4. Now, I already did card 4 on a Creating With You Facebook Live, but we're going to go ahead and make it again so I can link all the YouTube videos for the guide, and I'll make sure I put all the information about the multiple videos and the guide and everything in the description. Let's just go ahead and have some fun. All right. So I have my kit right here, and I've done some pre-work just for the purpose of making the video, go a little faster. All right. We are going to turn this into a shaker card. So each of these cards has a way to kind of do a little extra, make them a little more special. You can add the gold glitter to each of them, but this one here, you can do the cut through. And the Cricut will also do this for you. It's part of the design space file. If you choose to maybe just do this one cut, you can do that as well. But if not, you just take a thin cut and go right through the center. I went ahead and did mine on the Cricut, and then I've already embossed them with the embossing folder. Okay. I'll go ahead and we will put this together. I'm going to add the pine base to the card. And I think I dropped my 3x3 cut. Yeah, I did. Hold on for just a second. We'll grab that. Okay. I saw that it was not here. The cut file calls for the 3x3 cut. We'll pull that up. Let's just go ahead and put our base on first. Real life crafting, everybody, right? All right, here we go. Okay. And then I just have a scrap piece of French vanilla. There's a lot of French vanilla in this. Between the base pieces and the cuts and everything else, it was quite a lot of the French vanilla. But so worth it. They looked great in the end. Okay. This is not a full square piece. There we go. It's okay though. We're going to hide it, so I'm going to call it good enough. There we go. You'll cut, if you want to do the shaker cards, you'll cut those out. You will have these. One thing that you can do is you could always sub them out for this piece here. It's a little bigger and I didn't like it proportional wise, but it was an option. I really felt they needed to be 2 different sizes. Okay, so now that we have our pine base on, these are our sparkles. And what I did was I colored one of each of a whole sheet of them. I colored them all with the dark red or the medium red shade of our markers. But what I have found is if you just put a couple of coats of the marker on there, letting them dry in between, you get a much nicer color. All right, I'm going to move all this over here. I'm not exactly sure why I thought it was a good idea to put them on this side. This is the side I flip, but stuff happens. All right, here we go. Let's grab our stencils. Remember, I've already done the embossing. So for this card, we will be doing the stencil coloring on top of the embossing. All right. And we're going to line this up. And you do want to take the time to get it very nicely lined up. Because I've used my stencil at this point quite a few times, it is a little easier to line up as it's taken on, a little bit of a stain from the amount of use. I never look at that as a bad thing. I was actually pretty happy with it. So we'll grab some of this washi tape. All right, we want to make sure that as we're taping this down, we don't tape any areas that we need to get ink through. So be a little careful as you're applying your tape. Okay. I have a blending brush here for the Scarlet ink I'm going to apply. All right. And I want a good color. I don't want it to be too light. I actually did one that was a little too light for my taste. I've done one that was much too dark, and I'll share some of those at the end of the video. So I what I really like is to have different grades of color on this. You know, not have it so one-dimensional and everything colored the same. I like to see some variety. Oh, it's looking really good. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add extra ink just around the outside. Make sure you get those little dots that are on the sheet. They provide a really beautiful detail. Those are the holly berries. I'm focusing on getting some extra color around the outside of those petals. And it's so much fun because you're going to get to make 10 of these. So you get to really try a lot of different techniques, a lot of different ways to color it, and you'll find the way that's perfect for you. You'll find your favorite, okay? We'll go ahead and pull this off. Make sure you wash your stencil. Look at that. It's like revealing magic when you look at it. It's so much fun every time. Okay, I'm going to let this dry for a couple minutes, and while that's drying for a couple minutes, I'm going to continue to work on my card. So I'm going to pull over this piece right here. It's our dovetail that goes across, and I'm going to do it on the light side of the sage. We're going to be stamping it with pine. Once again, we only use 3 colors for this workshop. Just 3 ink colors. Okay. I have the Believe. Okay, I almost forgot. What you want to focus on, don't focus on the B because it's done on a slant. You want to focus on the remainder of the word and keeping that nice and straight. So as you're stamping it, pay more attention to the E and on. And it'll help you keep that, that stamp nice and level when you stamp it. There we go. Really pretty. Okay, it looks like I'm a little off. I'm a little too far to the one side, but it'll all work out in the end. It'll be pretty all in the end. Oh, you know what? Almost forgot we have 2 pieces to dovetail. So when I want my dovetails to be the same size, and I don't know that I do with that Believe stamp the way it is, but we're going to go for it. I like to go through both of them at the same time because then the cut angles match. So I'm going to go ahead and just snip the 2, and then I'm going to slide this one down so that it's equal with this side, and this one I'll do a little less because that Believe is really close to the edge. There we go. And then see our angles match on our dovetails. It's just a simple way. Plus, you only have to cut 1 dovetail, so that's nice too. All right. Oh, I don't know why I flipped that over. Thinking I was done. Let's go back to our stencil. We're going to grab the one with the leaves now, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to line it up, and we're going to make sure it's exactly where we want it to be, and then we'll tape it down. Once again, we want to do the same thing. You don't want to put tape anywhere where you need to do, where you need to color the area. So kind of choose, you know, pretty carefully there where you're going to add your tape. Okay. And just make sure you're not putting it near where any holes would be of any kind. We're going to grab our pine and our pine brush. Just making sure I get the inside of the poinsettias. And this one was off the page here at the bottom, so I didn't have to worry about that one. All right. I love watching these come together. They're still a lot of fun. I mean, I've worked with this stencil a lot at this point. It's just fun every time revealing whatever you're going to get. There will be no hardship with me making several more cards with this particular set. Several more Christmas cards for me. Okay, I want my green to be a little darker than what I have here, so I'm just going to go around and just kind of pay close attention, making sure I'm getting all the twigs. Notice sometimes I'm wiping my brush off, and other times I'm going straight from the stamp pad. When I know that I really want that dark mark, like in the branches and stuff, I'll just go straight from the stamp pad. Okay, I think that that is going to be a pretty color. Let's go ahead and do the reveal. There we go. It's always so pretty, no matter what you do, it just looks great every time. Okay, we have one more layer to do with this, with the toffee, and I can see I was slightly off. Let me show you where I was off. Right here, I'm a little off. By the time you get everything on the card, you are barely going to notice that. If you notice it, it's going to be because I pointed it out to you. All right, we're going to grab our gold glitter. They're cut at 1/8 of an inch. Everything is in the cut guide. Every cut you need is in the cut guide, so no worries there. Let's see. That one's going to be a little short. We're going to go ahead and go with this one. All right, and this is going to go, because I'm doing the version that has all the bells and whistles, this is going to go about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom of that green, pine green geomixin here. Okay, it's got like a geometrical pattern on it. There we go. And we'll just let that dry for a moment. And we're going to grab, now mine's going to be pretty dark, I'm sure, but this is my brown. You really want toffee, but I just have at it at this point. I have one that I just keep mixing in all my browns, and whatever happens, happens. But I have enough on here to go ahead and get this all inked up. Okay, I have one of our shaker foam and acetate sets here, and we're going to be using that to turn this into a shaker card. Shaker cards are really easy and lots of fun, and people are still amazed by them, even though they've been around for a while. We're going to line our third stencil up, focusing on just kind of getting the petal and the leaves, the overlays to the petal and the leaves where we want them. Okay. Get it all taped down. And I reuse my washi tape. As I said in the prior videos, which I'll link in the description, I did the same step all 10 times. So I did all of the scarlet. First I embossed them all, then I did all of the scarlet stencil, then I did all the pine stencil for all 10 cards, and that worked the best for me. Okay, we're going to move to toffee. And I want my toffee to be pretty dark, so I'm going to be using it mostly straight from the pad and doing really good sized circles, trying to get in all the nooks and crannies, just working clockwise and counterclockwise as I add ink. To just kind of work into all those little cuts that are in the stencil so I don't miss any of those details. This really gives so much detail. This final stencil layer. I mean, they work beautifully together. Obviously, they're made to. But this final layer, when it's revealed, it's almost like seeing magic every single time. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and take this off. Look at that. It's so pretty every single time. It's so pretty. I really love it. Look at this amazing detail. It has everything. It has that dimension from the embossing, but also from the different colors. Seeing the darker colorings on the edge and then the lighter, it just adds so much dimension and so much detail. Okay. Just like that, we made magic. All right, we'll go ahead and snip this off. Save that for another card. Okay. It's surprising how easily this is going to go together. A little bit of ink on me, but that's okay. Ink is fun. Okay, I have my anti-static pouch, and let me grab the cards now just to kind of show you a sample of what I did. All right, so I had different shaker bits, and so I had some of these in my stash, and I used those. They're no longer available. And then I had the gold stars. So I basically just kind of did every other one. And as I'm flipping through here, you can see the different colorings and the different techniques that I tried. And way at the end is the one where I tried the green really, really dark, and I didn't like it. That was my least favorite. Still good enough to go out. This one here, I was working on the coloring for the poinsettias, and they just came out very one-dimensional because it was too much, a little too dark as well. And I found that having the different colors on there is where I really ended up liking them. Having the, you know, not all dark, not all light, just the transition of colors. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this shaker card together. We're going to take our piece and turn it over. And we're going to work on grabbing this little guy here. And this can just go on with regular adhesive around your circle cutout. Make sure I have enough there so that it stays stuck. We're going to just cover it up. You have extra room, which is really nice. And don't worry if you have any sticky that's on the outside of it. Your foam is going to fit on the inside, so it's all good. We're going to just go ahead and rub that with our anti-static pouch. We'll probably do that again and again. All right, we're going to loosen and release our shaker foam. This is my piercing tool. This really just makes it so that the outer circle that we want peels off more easily. All right, and then we're going to just slip that in there and lift it. We never want to pull it off. You always want to kind of move and pull it like this. You don't want to make it become an oval. So we're constantly just lifting a little bit more. There we go. It's attached now. And this is just going to go right here. And we have some wiggle room, so it's really nice. So just hover it over. And when you think you have it in a good spot, we're just going to touch it down very easily. And then we're going to make sure that it's stuck. So we're going to go all around it. There we go. Our anti-static pouch is really important. We want to make sure that we're putting some of that powder up against all the adhesive. So our bits, when we shake, they don't seem to stick in all one place. The other thing is to remove the static so the bits can flow freely. So really important. All right, that's all done, and we're done with that. We're going to need that 3x3, and I'm going to fill this with gold stars. That's the shaker bits that I added in the guide. So we're going to grab the gold stars. They look really pretty. I love shaker cards, and I make lots of them. Okay, I have this little silver spoon. Many of my group members have received these in their happy mail as just a little thank you. It's the perfect amount for a shaker. So just fill your little silver spoon. Fill your little silver spoon. Spread them out. You can be generous with them because they're tiny, so they're going to work out well. But you don't want to overflow. There we go. I'm always tempted to add more, right? Lots of shaking going on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to peel off that. There you go. And before we attach this, we're going to just rub that with our anti-static pouch, and we're going to flip it over and just put it right on the top. It's going to fit perfectly. There you go. You're done. You've just created the shaker. That's how easy it was to upgrade this set, to have these really gorgeous shaker cards, and these, they're just so special that, you know, it's very easy. You just follow the steps and do them again and again and again. And don't be nervous. Have fun. Know that you're making something that's going to be fun and beautiful. There we go. And we are adding foam tape all around this to elevate the card to the level of the shaker. That is going to make it more stable. It's going to make it flow better, and it's going to make it look great. If you didn't do that, you could risk kind of collapsing the card. Okay, so now we're going to peel all of these off. Make sure you get a good bit of foam tape to stabilize this piece. You wouldn't want to go through all this work and then have it, not do well just because you didn't use foam tape. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive on here. I don't want to risk putting the pressure down of my gun, but I do use it often, my adhesive gun. All right, there we go. And we're going to leave 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Look, it already wants to shake all over the place. There we go. We're just going to touch it down just like that. Look at that. It's already so pretty, but let's add a little bit more. We're going to grab that pine, and we want to make sure that we see a good bit down here. So let's go about, we're going to center it right to left and go about 1/2 of an inch up from the bottom of the cut through circle. Okay, if you don't have that, then, you can just go ahead and add, you can add it wherever you would like to place it. If you decided not to do the shakers, you could also just cut the circle and, just have that extra detail through it as well, kind of similar to what was in the idea book. The inspiration on this was amazing. Okay, so we're going to put this on, and we want to center it, but we want it just above that gold piece of glitter, or it's about 1/2 of an inch up from the bottom. Don't cover the whole top. We want to be able to see it shake. I'm going to put these back in here. Okay. We have 2 of the small poinsettias. They are already stamped with our pine, and we did those. And we're going to tuck. Remember, we're staying away from the edges in this. We want it to come over the cut through circle, but we don't want it to take too much away. There we go. We want to still be able to see that. Okay, and then we have our sparkles that we have colored. And you will definitely have extra sparkles. So if you decide to make more cards, you can swap bling out and all of that. There you go. Gorgeous. Okay. And we have one video left that's got lots of fun, lots of details. I knew this one was going to be the long one because it is that shaker card, and I wanted to share all the details and everything. I hope you guys are really liking this card series. If you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you check out the description. I'll have the links in there for the entire series, along with information about the guide. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate it so much. I wish you a fabulous day filled with crafty goodness. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.